Hello and welcome to Claver's very own podcast. I'm your host Lyndon and I also wear many other hats as Claver's Marketing and Communications Officer. Today we're taking 10 with our Assistant Principal Curriculum, Mr. Todd Riggs, as we chat Q&A style about maximising your child's academic journey at Claver. Mr. Riggs has been at Claver since 2004, rising through the ranks from HPE teacher to senior curriculum roles and now as the head of all things academic at the college. He's passionate about the success of all Claver students and he has seen thousands of students graduate. After 17 years at Claver, he's also seen the introduction of Year 7 to high school and the start of the new QCE system. As a result, he is well placed to understand the history, motivations and future of the college.
Yeah, thanks, Lyndon. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be part of the first podcast for the college.
So, Mr. Riggs, what does Claver's slogan, "Know You Can," mean to you?
What does Know You Can mean? Over the past 18 months, we as a college leadership team have been on a journey to find out, what is the Claver story, and what we've found out that every single member of our community has a slightly different perspective on what it is, but undoubtedly it comes back to being very unique and very different for all students. The Know You Can part fits in well with us because it effectively means regardless of what your journey is, regardless of what your background is, you can succeed at Claver. And that's certainly what it means to me. All students have an identity, and our curriculum, the principles behind that curriculum, the structures allow students to pursue the pathway they want, not what the college wants. So ultimately it's about a client-focused model.
What are the structures that Claver has in place to allow students to reach their academic potential?
As in all schools, there are compliance elements that we need to meet with regards to meeting the Australian curriculum for years 7 to 10 and the QCAA requirements for the senior syllabuses in years 11 and 12. But where we have flexibility, we ensure that there's a variety of elective-based subjects that appeal to an eclectic group of students. As students progress through the year levels, they get an increased choice. By the time they get into senior, they get complete choice with the 6 or 7 subjects that they choose. In middle years, we have a tracking process and we work really heavily with those students that might be at risk. We certainly also work with the students that are looking for extension as well. In the senior years, we have a formalised senior mentoring program that begins at the set planning process as a year 10, and we meet regularly with students in 11 and 12 to track their academic journey, but also to work with formulating a quality post-schooling pathway for each of the students. We've got over 140 staff in the college, 85 teachers, 15 specialist staff. They all provide a contemporary learning experience for our students. And I can tell you from being here for 17 plus years, the college really has a contemporary set of buildings and facilities that is just a great place to be around from an aesthetic perspective, but the facilities themselves are really good quality.
So, on a day-to-day basis, how does a Claver student maximise their learning?
There's many ways that we work with our students to sort of empower them to make quality choices with regards to maximising their engagement. The first one and the simplest one is around attendance. As a BCE system, we have the goal of 90% attendance. I personally think that it should be higher, and the vast majority of our students should be aiming for higher than that. We know that things happen on a day-to-day basis and students get sick, but you certainly can't learn from home, and being here on a day-to-day basis is priority number one. Yep. We provide students with a laptop, so each student in their cohort get provided the same laptop as their peers. Bringing that teaching resource charged and using it correctly is vital. We've gone down the path of an e-diary for 2021, and students and teachers are engaging with that really well in the first 4 weeks of this year. Engaging authentically with your teacher, having a growth mindset, completing work that's set for home, and really working on organisation. Ultimately, all of those things compile into a couple of things, which is around organisation and resilience. And they're the types of qualities that we're working to instill in our students as they come through middle years, so that it's par for the course when they get into the senior years.
And what support people or processes can students access at Claver?
We've got a really diverse and wide team of support for our students. There's the natural element of pastoral and community level, where there's all of our year level coordinators and the student desk and the front reception, all of those day-to-day touch points for our students. When we're talking specifically curriculum, there's a variety of different supports that are there for students. They begin their day with their home class teacher every day, who's going to be a really important relationship building person for them, but also a person who's going to ask them about how they're tracking with their academic journey. Their subject teacher, of course, is probably the most vital cog in this machine. We've really got a no surprises policy here at the school in regards to how students are tracking with their journey, and we have what's called the Claver academic tracker, and we communicate regularly and honestly with parents around how students are performing in class. It can be something as simple as a positive email around how the student is engaging well with a subject, but it's also there is a mechanism to let parents know where there might be some disengagement issues, or there might be drafts that weren't submitted, those types of things. We try to ensure that we communicate timely and regularly with parents to ensure that they as part of this journey, that they're aware of where their students are at.
And I guess that's appreciated.
Yeah, by and large.
Yep.
So, I mean, I know as a father of two young girls, I'd want to know, if either of them was struggling with their if their studies or something was going on. I'd rather know straight away as opposed to finding out when the report card come out.
Yep.
We have a suite of curriculum leaders who work in designing quality units for our students. We have course mentors through years 7 through to 12, and in each of the year levels there are specialist programs which we call access and work education and tertiary access, but essentially what they are is a mixture of personal development, vocational learning, and pathways to post-schooling.
Have any parting words for our prospective or even current parents about helping their son or daughter maximise their academic journey?
Probably I'll keep this one pretty simple, and when I was reflecting on this question, for me it's around choice and challenge.
Yeah.
In the middle years, there's a need for students to have a bit of a growth mindset and come into things openly and try some subjects out, particularly from an elective. There's core subjects that they don't have any choice on: your maths, your science, English, RE, those types of things that they're going to have to do because of Australian curriculum. But from an elective perspective, is try out some subjects, see if they are a subject that you enjoy doing, because the challenge will come as when you get into grade 10, 11 and 12 where you need to make some choices. You really want to choose subjects that are best for you.
Yeah.
And the ones that are going to allow you're going to enjoy them, you're going to perform well in the assessment, and your experience as a senior student is going to be maximised. And really for us, that doesn't only lead to an ATAR score, it could lead to industry placement through the multiple vet pathways that we have. It could be school-based apprenticeship traineeships, whatever it might be. It's about, in the middle years, setting your journey up in senior so that you can make appropriate choices for your subjects.
Mm-hmm. I guess my own thought on this particular question, people should be thinking about their own goals and outcomes and making their decisions based on that, as opposed to what the rest of the crowd is doing.
Constantly. And that's really what our programs in years 7, 8 and 9 are designed to do, is ensure that students, where they are given choices, are making smart choices that are suitable for them.
Brilliant.
It's not about some of those other aspects around familiarity, and I understand that they're important, but if they're trying to maximise their journey, it's about embracing the variety of elective subjects that we have here, so that that can inform their choices when they move towards senior.
Nice. Cool. All right. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Riggs. It's been a pleasure. And that was our very first podcast.
Thank you.